and still
Hold on, hold on,
doing a
hold
lot of
on.
stuff. Adios.
Bye.
Bye, Dana. Bye, Rob.
Bye.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have Dana, our special guest from New Jersey, who's a hairstylist, who has a walk for her son, who's a Navy sailor, Ethan Sabatini. A walk going on this October 15th to bring awareness for suicide prevention. And we're asking anybody who's watching who wants to come out and join. We're going to give you all the information so you guys can be a part of this. And we're also going to give some information for some donations for people who want to donate to Dana's cause so we can try to raise some funds for her and her family and her son, and for the walk and for any kind of foods, drinks, or any supplies that they're going to need for this event. So, Dana, if you'd like to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, everything, I had posted something today. I can share it to your page where all of the funds go when you donate to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And anyone who donates, it's 100% going to the foundation. Like I took care of the shirts, and everything else. So people can just donate and that's it. And I like the foundation because not only do they offer support for people that are having mental health issues, they also offer support for families that need help after the death and the survivors. So they really do a lot of good, and whatever you donate 100% goes right back in the foundation to help others. I lost my son in March to suicide, and there were no signs at all. My son never battled with any type of depression. As a matter of fact, he loved life and he was known for helping others who suffered with depression, had suicidal thoughts. You know, I feel like if my son can, this can happen to my son, it can happen to anyone. The only thing I can say, if you know someone around you, you notice them drinking more than usual, keep an eye on them, because that was the only thing that had changed in my son. He started to become a really bad alcoholic, and 20 to 40% of suicides, 20 to 40% of the people that commit suicide are alcoholics. And a lot of people don't know that. So that is one of the main things that you should look for if there's no other change in behavior. So I just, you know, I want to honor him. He was a beautiful person and keep his memory alive. And I want to try to help others so they never, ever have to go through the hell that my family's going through. So,
Dana, you are loved, and your son is loved and still loved, and I want to honor, and everybody else I know watching wants to honor your son as much as, or not more than you do or as much as you do, but they want to honor him too, and I know they want to walk with you and be a part of this with you on your journey. uh, and so, we're here to support you. Absolutely. Anything you need, Dana, you just let us know. What kind of things? What kind of things are you still needing for your event, or is everything pretty much covered, or what's
every,
like the?
yeah, I have that. These are the shirts that we got, and it says on the side, Team Ethan. And then the back has like you can't see it, but the back has a whole saying on it. Right now, all I would ask for is just donations to the foundation. Me being competitive, we're in fourth place, and I would love to honor my son by being in the top three. The number one is a hospital, so I know that we'll never beat them. But I really, my younger son makes fun of me because I've been so competitive about it this week at work, I'm going to donate all my tips, in addition to the donation I already made, because I really want to get in the top 3. And then, next year I'm thinking ahead. I'm trying to find a walk where, somehow it will help the members of the Tragedy Assistance Program or something with the Gold Star moms, because they also do an unbelievable job with helping the survivors, when someone's serving an active duty, they do a wonderful job helping the survivors after, and they give a lot of support too. So next year, I want to try to do something with them also.
Right. Yeah, that'd be amazing right there. Yeah, getting connected with the people.
The walk is October 15th, and it's the Cumberland County Walk. So even if anyone goes online and looks up the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, if you click on the Cumberland Walk and just go on Team Ethan, you can donate that way. Or even if you can't donate, share the link on your page, and that will help. And even, I think sometimes people think, well, times are tough. We all know that. And they're like, well, I can only give like $5. What difference does that make? It does make a difference. Like, it doesn't even matter if it's $1. Anything will help to go towards the foundation.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's at the Cumberland County Technical School. I think that they have a Rowan campus there also. The exact address is on the page, and it's at 9:30 on Saturday, October 15th. So even if people just wanted to come out and walk, or just be there and support the team, support everybody that's walking for their loved ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Dana, so how far is your walk?
You know what? Everyone asked me that, and I actually don't even know. But I know it's very relaxed. You don't have to walk the whole thing if you can't. My son's 15, and being a typical teenager, of course he wants to be there, but he's like, well, how long's the walk? We have to be there at 8:30 in the morning. It's early. I said, listen, it's not a 5K. If you walk what you can, if you're tired, you don't have to do the whole thing.
Yeah, so like waters, Gatorades, set up.
They have all of that there. They have like an opening ceremony. They have bathrooms there. I'm going to bring some water and Gatorade too for my team. So anything that you need would be there. And even if you can't walk far, just being there and being supportive of the families.
Exactly. So even if you can't walk, maybe just get out and serve some food, or get a grill going, cooking some food, hand out some drinks. Yeah, do something.
They have all kinds of stuff there that you can even purchase just wearing a shirt. Someone might walk by and see that, and it might make them look up the foundation, and that helps just to raise awareness. I don't think that I know I wasn't aware until my son passed, how many people commit suicide every year. It's just an awful thing.
Yeah. So if anybody watching, if you can't even walk, just show up, be a part of it, and buy a T-shirt and support the cause and donate. Or if you can't donate, share the link. We'll put the link on the podcast later, so you guys can share the podcast link with your friends and family, and try to get some donations rolling in for Dana, so we can get her at that number 1 spot.
Yeah. And also too, if you go on the foundation's page, you can click on, if you can't donate, other things that you can do. Like, you can get involved with your local legislation and help in different ways like that. It could just be sending an email, which everyone can do, making a phone call. There's so many different things that you can do.
Dana, I got a friend, Gogo Gomez. He wants to join us. Is that okay if I bring him on?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Here
Okay.
comes Go-Go.
Good morning, Rob. How you doing, Dana?
Hi.
I'm driving to work, so I apologize. So I just wanted to jump on for a few minutes, say hello. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you guys for everything you guys are doing.
Thank you, Gomez. Yeah, thank you for joining us, Gomez. Gomez, this is Dana from. I fill you in from New Jersey. You might have seen some of her stuff, but her son was a Navy sailor who committed suicide.
I'm so sorry for that. And
Thank you.
didn't commit. He fell victim to or succumbed to suicide. Remember, I talked to a mother who lost her son through suicide, and she corrected me on that and stated that you commit to go to a party, you commit to go to an event, but no one ever commits to suicide. It's just unfortunately those demons or those troubles or stresses or those pains end up becoming too much sometimes, and unfortunately they just leave us too soon.
Yeah.
I just got back from a 3-day ride, 1,500 miles, 4 states. Went and spent, what's the day? I forgot the day already. Spent Monday with Christy Barden and Gary Barden of Utah. Their son, Zachary, also fell victim to his demons, and we lost him to suicide 9 years ago tomorrow. His anniversary day will be tomorrow, and so me and Stupid stopped by there to go pay our respects. We were visiting some Gold Star family memorials, and it ain't coincidence and synchronicity that his anniversary date was just a couple days before we got to visit them, and so they're really appreciative of us taking the time to stop by just to say we remember, and that they're not alone.
Yeah, absolutely, Gomez. Hey, Gomez, we listen. I know you drive cross country from Cali all the way to DC. The next time you drive, let's. I want you to link up in about 1 year after we're gonna do a walk for Dana next year too. We want you to come out there and join.
All right, what time? You know what time frame?
It's usually, I know, the whole month of October, every weekend on Saturday and Sunday, there's walks in different counties for the American Suicide Prevention for Suicide. And then in September in New Jersey, they have the Run for the Fallen. So that's another event.
Yeah, Run for the Fallen. I've heard about the Run for the Fallen. That's a really amazing program.
They do in New Jersey. They do such an amazing job. It's so well organized. The Gold Star moms, the people that run it, they do an unbelievable job. And it's just, I can't believe how well run and organized it is. And, it's good for all the moms to see each other, get together, share different, because everyone has a different story about how, their son or daughter or family member has passed. So, it's just nice to get together with other military families and, share stories and get support.
And I jumped on a little late, Dan. I'm sorry, but what was your sailor's name, and when was his anniversary date?
It's Ethan Sabatini, and his anniversary date, they say March 7th, but it was really March 2nd. He was missing and they didn't find him until the 7th. It was just awful, and just an awful thing. And I feel like down where he was stationed, they really don't take it serious when someone from the military is missing. They just kept, oh, well, he might be AWOL. I'm like, my son is not AWOL. He loved his job. And, my son's chief even said, I know that he didn't run away. He's not AWOL. I'm concerned. I know he would never do that.
Yeah.
And
procedures and protocols.
yeah, and I mean, he was so intoxicated that night. Even, when we got the medical examiner's report back 6 days later, it still was showing a high blood alcohol level in his liver and blood. So the detective had said when he found the amount of alcohol he found, he said, your son wasn't even of sound mind. He probably didn't even realize, what he was doing or what was going on.
I know. What year? March 2nd?
This year, 2022, the worst day of my life.
Oh,
yeah.
I am so sorry for that. I didn't even know it was that close. That's wow.
Yeah, this is his picture.
Oh, God bless you and your family.
I don't know if you can see it. Oh, I can't get it in.
I'll look at it later on. I'll look at it later on.
Yeah, it's been awful. And when something like this happens and it's sudden and unexpected and you don't have answers, it's even worse because for the rest of your life, you're going to question yourself and question everything else.
Well, it sounds like you're already getting yourself involved with some great programs, some great support teams, and then, connecting with other family members that lost loved ones. That's, again, there's nothing I could ever say, do, or give, or Rob, or nobody's ever going to be able to replace, your child and fill that hole. But hopefully, it's just you're often given some consolement and knowing that you're not alone, and there are the other people out there that do care. And again, our purpose is to bring awareness, let others know, let our service members and our veteran family know that there are resources out there available. If you're struggling, you need help, there's other options, definitely,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope that my son is, looking at me proud. And the reason why I decided to do this is because, a couple times I knew in the past, after he passed, I've gotten about 3 messages from someone in California that found me, someone, he was stationed with, someone else, 2 people in my area that they were suicidal, and my son helped them, talk them out of it, went to visit them every day to make sure that they were okay. So I feel like he would want me to continue to do that for him.
Bless you guys over there. That's terrible, terrible news.
Yeah,
it's always a tragedy.
Yeah. It's just crazy to me that sometimes people can help everyone else, but then they don't know how to help themselves.
I've been known for that. I say I'm really good at giving advice, but I'm really terrible at taking my own advice.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, but you know what? I that's why I think I continue to do what I do now. I'm a veterans advocate. I'm out there trying to support and just be very involved in the veteran community, the Gold Star family community, and just and there's a lot of sayings that I say and I repeat them and I repeat them, and I think by helping others, you hear yourself, and so hopefully eventually it seeps in, and then you have the knowledge whenever it comes the time that you may need it, And so it helps helping others, definitely. Again, I'm lost for words on everything right now. I didn't realize it was that close. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And bless you for being up here and telling your story, sharing with others, and hopefully connect with somebody. If there's a family member out there that lost a loved one, give them the resources that they need, tell them about the programs, and just do what we can do. It's all we can do.
Yeah. Thank you for all your work too. The family appreciate it.
My honor, my privilege, and I'm just blessed and honored and to be able to do what I do, and so just I wish I could do more sometimes, but there's only so much we can do.
Bro,
Yeah.
you're on the road 24/7, 365, man.
Everybody thinks that I'm just slowing down. Again, I'm the vice commander of my legion now, and director of my riders group, and so I'm trying to stay a little bit more local when I can. So I haven't been traveling as much, but yeah, it's a couple months out of the year, But you got to get out and about, go see this beautiful world that was created for us, and meet the amazing people that we get the opportunity to meet as I'm traveling. But I am driving, so I really don't like the idea of me driving on the phone. I could do this on my motorcycle, but the car I'm really uncomfortable. But I'll let you guys continue on your conversation. Rob, thank you for inviting me to come on. Dana, again, thoughts and prayers are with you, and I'm sure we will reconnect sometime in the future along our journeys that our paths should probably pass.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a good one. God bless y'all. Have a wonderful day, and continue the mission.
Have a good day.
Brother. Peace, brother.
Thank God for people like that help others.
Yeah.
It does make a difference.
Yeah. Gogo, he's one of a kind. That guy there, he just did a ride from Cali to DC with the Rolling Thunder. So
Wow.
and that's from cross country on a motorcycle
Oh my
nonstop.
God. That's
Mhm.
impressive.
Yeah, and they do that once a year. So and the other one they have is, I think, Run for the Wall is another
Oh,
one.
that's
Yeah.
cross country too.
Yep. From Cali to DC. Yeah, they I think they have 2 rides a year, or yeah. So but and then they do a lot of other local rides, maybe like from like Cali to you know, Texas, or like maybe Cali to Chicago and Chicago back to Cali. They ride all the time. I think his latest ride was he just did a ride from Chicago to Cali. So
Oh wow.
he's constantly on the road, doing suicide prevention and honoring soldiers who for Gold Star moms who have died. You know,
That's
so
really amazing. And
yeah.
it really does help. Even if it's one person that you can reach, it's someone, it's a life.
Yeah. Yeah, he's when it comes to the suicide prevention, he is like one of the more outspoken people in the veteran community. Gogo, when it comes to me and Gogo linked up a while back. We started doing the podcast. Gogo was one of the original guys on my podcast, but yeah, he was doing suicide prevention before I did, so I kind
Oh
of learned a
wow.
lot. I kind of learned a lot from him. But yeah, he's a really good guy. He's always available, 24/7. 365. If you need somebody to talk to, he's available. He'll stop what he's doing to help you. And you don't get that from everybody.
No,
But
you don't.
he's one of them guys. So when he said that he'll come walk with us next year, yeah, he's serious. He'll mean it. But maybe if he doesn't have nothing, if he's not going to ride out there, maybe we'll just have to get him a plane ticket.
Yeah, and get them out here, because that's
Yeah.
amazing. There's not too many people like that.
Yeah.
People like that. It really is amazing.
Yeah.
We need more people like that.
Yeah. He it's his passion. It's his passion. He that's what he lives for, you know. So like he just likes to give back and help people. Um, and it, you know, that's I mean constantly. That's what he does. I mean he's what did he say? He's the head of his own American Legion. I
Yes.
think he's yeah. So I mean he's got a lot going on for you know, and
Yeah, that
he's been
alone is a lot of work, you know, just that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
And for him to do that and still go out and ride and still advocate for other people and other people's families and stuff like that. And even him taking the time to jump on here, you know, like that's just how much that he does. You know, I can go on and on how awesome the dude is, but he speaks for himself. I don't really have to say much more, you know. But and I love watching him ride. He posts. You might want to send him a friend request, or I'll tell him to send you one. But he
yeah.
posts all. Yeah, he posts all his rides when he rides his bike, and he's probably on his bike every day. You know what I mean?
Oh
He's
yeah, I'm
riding.
gonna add him. Just you know, so I could see the work that he's doing, and if there's anything I could get involved with, you know,
Yeah,
to help.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's amazing.
yeah, I'd like to. I know there's a lot of people wanting to support you on the October 15th, but then I'm really excited for next year's event, and then the year after's event. You know, so I'm hoping that you know your events just keep getting bigger.
Me
More people,
too.
you know, maybe more sponsors for your events. You know, find some people who want to sponsor and donate. You know, maybe some companies,
Yeah.
some local companies that want to donate some money every year. Like, I know I see you got T-shirts, but do you have any sponsors yet?
No, just you know what? We did the t-shirts. You know, I did and my son's father's family because we just figured this is our first year doing the walk. We just wanted everybody to focus on, you know, donating and not, you know, not anything else. I'm hoping this is just the beginning and every year I can get more people together, donate more, and maybe do another foundation, not just this one. I'd like to do another foundation that's, you know, directly related to the military since my son was in active duty and he loved serving. So I really want to do something, you know, specifically with the military and vets too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And definitely, we should have by next year's walk. You know, we should have a lot of sponsors for you, as well. You know, maybe make some calls over this next year,
Yeah.
and just the local businesses like Home Depot or you know any kind of Lowe's or something like that. I know a lot of times they like to sponsor. Maybe even like the local food market. You know, they might want to sponsor. You know, if you have each sponsor, you know, chip in $50 to get their company's name on your shirt. You know, $50 isn't a lot of money for a company. You know,
No.
and then you can fit you know 10, 15 sponsors on your shirt. They can get recognized for you know supporting a suicide prevention and a tribute for a Gold Star mom and with for her son, a Navy sailor who committed suicide. I'm sure they'd love to do that. You know.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Like I started a little late this year, so next year I really want to do bigger and better to help
Yeah,
the cause.
yeah, absolutely. And you got time, you know, next year, and then you could even do like some raffles. Are you doing You can still do raffles this year. Are you doing raffles or?
No, I was going to get like some scratch offs and give them out to the walkers, but I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
There's a lot of things once you get there that the foundation does. I know with if you raised like this amount of money, you get a t-shirt. If you raised another amount of money, you get a tumbler. And as far as the individual like fundraisers, I don't even know how that happened. I'm the second top individual fundraiser, which I mean, I'm surprised at, but you know, I'm happy. You know, I
Yeah,
just think that it helps people.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, for you that you're out there doing this walk, you know, because it takes a lot. I know from everything that you've been through, just to be able to get out there and do this walk, I'm proud for you to get out there and do
Thank
it,
you.
yeah, because, it's letting everybody know, hey, this is it, this is what happened, and my son's not going to be forgotten, and his life wasn't in vain, and he's going to be remembered,
Yeah.
and that, and let people know who he was and what he was for, and who you are and what you're for, and you're about your family, you're about your son, and you're not going to let him be forgotten,
No,
because
I never will. You
you
know, and
love.
people may get tired of hearing me talk about it, but I don't care because I'm never going to stop. His memory's always going to be alive. And I feel like when this happens, you know, you feel violated, like something was taken away from you so suddenly with no warning, nothing. You have no answers. And it really does feel like you're violated. And that's why I thought this is something that I can have some type of control over, you know, raising money, helping other families. You know, I pray that nobody ever has to go through this ever because it is the most horrible, horrific thing to lose a child.
So, Dana, education. So, like, maybe through these walks, I know you might want to educate the community, other mothers who might have children who are in the military, or educate mothers of people who might have their kids join the military so they know what it's really like for their son or daughter when they're in the military, and so they can have some kind of idea maybe on how to communicate or have a better open policy with chain of command and parents, so this doesn't happen in the future, because maybe if somebody at their unit was talking to you, maybe if there was a little more family time where the NCOs and the chain of command are bringing these soldiers in and talking to them and getting ahead of the suicide, getting in there and figuring out what kind of issues they have,
Yeah.
talking about them and getting the family involved in it so they don't commit suicide. Be more preventative, be more proactive uh, do prevention, because that's what we're about here, prevention. So if they did
Yeah.
more prevention, maybe we could try to save some other soldiers from committing suicide.
And it's like when I go on the grief meetings online through TAPS, you know, so many, this wasn't the case for me. I had no warning, and nobody in my son's command knew. Like, they didn't have a clue. They even did a full investigation because they do hold someone accountable if someone knew. No, I mean, my son's girlfriend, nobody had a clue. The only difference was he was drinking so heavily, and his personality when he was intoxicated completely changed. Other than that, nothing. But I do know that from, you know, the TAPS meetings, there are a lot of moms and dads on there that say that, you know, their son or daughter was struggling for a long time with depression and, you know, battling it, and there was just no support for them. You know, some of them spoke up and they were getting help, but it must have not been the right help or enough help. And then there are others that they were confiding in their parents, but you know, they didn't want to tell the command because they didn't want to, you know, be looked at as weak or be punished. So that's the thing. It's such a complicated thing, and there's so many levels to it. You know, there's something has to be done to change.
Exactly. And Dana, you know what I think needs to be done? They need to get the parents and family more involved. You know,
Yes.
if they would have called you, Dana, and said, "Hey, Dana, we got your son down here. You know, we know our soldiers because they're with them all every day, right? So you know, honestly, I don't know if somebody got fired, but maybe somebody should have got fired in his unit when he committed suicide, because that's what it's going to take. Because if somebody's committing suicide in my unit, then somebody didn't do their job.
But you know what's crazy? No one knew. My son hit it so well. No one
But
knew.
that's going to be an excuse. Are you going to let that right off as an excuse? Me personally, I have to hold somebody accountable. Not in the military. There's no room for error. Okay, if you are allowing somebody in your unit to commit suicide, you failed as an NCO. You failed as a unit. Your commander failed. Your whole chain of command failed because you lost your soldier. Okay, if you were at war, you would not lose somebody, and if you're here in the States at your unit in a community, you're not to lose one of your guys. Okay, not to suicide and not to anything else. And I think if they started firing some of these people,
Yeah.
NCOs that are in units with people committing suicide, maybe people will start doing their job better. You see, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take some people getting fired from the units and maybe we need to walk for that, a bill that's going to change that says a zero tolerance for suicide.
Yeah.
And if there's one suicide in the unit, you're fired. Okay, and if that gets put out, guess what? There's going to be less suicides.
Well, you're
Because
absolutely right about that, because I know several people that the chain of command was aware that there was an issue and it still happened. And I know the day that we went to Virginia for my son's memorial, I can't remember what he was like beyond the head of the command, and he turned around and said to someone in my son's command, he said, "There's too many suicides on this base and I don't like it, and something needs to be done." And he's absolutely right. Something needs to be done. And you know, when you see, you know, and I know like drinking, and listen, I have a drink sometimes, but I'm not an alcoholic. I think drinking is just so accepted that people don't realize, hey, maybe he's drinking this much for a reason, or maybe this drinking is going to lead to a problem for him and cause some mental issues. We need to keep an eye on it. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like all of that should be, I think, should be monitored.
Everything. They're a soldier 24 hours a day. That means even when they're off, their chain of command is involved in what they're doing. So whether they're drinking or at the gym or doing something, they need to be more involved with them.
I agree with that. It shouldn't just end when they walk out of the door from work. They should be involved after that. What's going on in their life? What are they okay? What are they doing?
Showing up where they're at, you know, calling them in to see how they're doing on their day off, to make sure they're doing the right thing, to make sure they're not drinking, because they need to take care of their soldiers.
Yeah.
You know? And the thing is, you know, a lot of these guys, if they say they don't have time or they have too many soldiers or this and that and another, then they need to get more NCOs who can take care of. It's like a classroom that has one teacher and there's, you know, 100 students. You know, there's just not enough.
You need more. Like you need more leaders then to check in on everyone.
And that's the problem with the units at the bases, because there's not enough people in charge, and there's a lot of people who are just running wild. A lot of soldiers running wild, you know.
And it's like, I don't know much. I've never served in the military, but I do know that the base that my son was on has a bad reputation. I don't know what is going on there, what is wrong, but it's definitely something.
It's pretty much as bad as it is at Fort Hood. See, Fort Hood has a
Yeah.
really bad reputation, but you know, a lot of that stuff's changing. You know, a lot because of Vanessa Guillen. Vanessa Guillen, she she was murdered on the base at Fort Hood by
Yeah.
another, and they marked her AWOL, right? Tried to say she was AWOL, and never even looked for her,
But it's
and
disgusting.
she was murdered on the base. Yeah, and they didn't even investigate. They didn't. They pretty much just wrote her off as AWOL.
And when she tried to speak up about what was happening, instead of getting justice, she went missing. So
Yeah,
I
and
know
the,
my son's wife, she got moved, transferred to Texas. She's in the army, and I was so scared that she's not on base at Fort Hood, but that was my biggest fear. Like, oh my God, I hope that she's not going there. But thank God she's doing really well.
yeah, and you know, a lot's changing at Fort Hood. You know, they fired a lot of people. A lot of new rules are in place with sexual harassment. They're having this zero policy. If anybody's sexually harassed, they have an outside organization that comes in to do a report, so it's not kept in house now. But see, they went and got a bill. Vanessa Guillen's family went to the White House and had a bill passed and made some changes, you know. And if we could follow route and do something like that, you know, for your son who was in Virginia, that could help all bases
Yeah.
for people in the future. Because last year, I think one active duty committed suicide per day. This year, 1.5. So the numbers are going up.
Well, I know on my son's base, the whole the Brandon Act, that all that came to be from a suicide that was in my son's command. So now they have the Brandon Act, and I know his mom works so hard and does a lot of work.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it needs to be everywhere. And now, my younger son, he either wants to be a police officer or he wants to, be a police officer in the military. So, and, I know he's completely different than my older son, but I also know that no matter what, if he does enlist, because I want him to do whatever he wants to do, I'm going to have to be hyper vigilant and not just assume or not just take his word. I'm doing great. I'm okay. Because, they can, now I know how much people can hide what's really going on.
Yeah, I think it's time to, you know, have you fly out to wherever he's stationed at, you know, and go out and check on him a little bit, you know,
Well,
because
not, he's only 15, so he might change, soon to be 16. He might change his mind.
okay,
Yeah. But either way, even, being a police officers, firefighters, military, they all have very high suicide rates.
yeah, especially the firefighters, police, it's happening all the way across the board. Yeah, everybody's the suicide rates are going up. More mental health issues, more
Yep.
stress, more
And these
more.
are all people that basically, sign their life away to do their job, all three of those jobs, to do their job, and then to have to suffer from these issues and lose their life, not even doing their job, it should not be. There should be more support there for them.
Yeah, they need to be more involved. They need to have more people involved. They need a whole like suicide prevention squad in the military at every base that's
Yeah.
dedicated to going to each unit and maybe like interacting with their soldiers, doing interviews, talking to them, finding out, you know, their lifestyle, like what are they drinking? Are they going through a divorce? Are they losing their kids? Are they having financial problems? Find out all these stressors that would add to suicide ahead of time and start rating this stuff out, you know, before and saying, hey, okay, this guy, he's drinking too much. We already know he's going to fall in that 30 to 40% of alcohol people who commit suicide. This person's having financial issues. You know, they're going to fall into that 50% of people who commit suicide. This person's going through some marital issues. He's in that 20% of suicidal, you know, and then kind of figuring out which ones in the unit, you know, could be suicidal prior, so they can kind of maybe have some more mentoring and, you know, counseling and stuff, some suicide counseling, some weekly suicide counseling or something. Because
and you know what? You're absolutely right, because I feel like obviously PTSD is the #1 cause when it comes to military suicides, but divorce and alcohol that happens a lot. You know, those are two of the leading causes too that pushes someone over the edge.
Yeah, and you know, and there's a lot of alcohol that goes on the base. More alcohol than, honestly, me personally, I would ban alcohol on the base. That's me. I personally, I wouldn't let my soldiers drink. You know,
that probably is not a bad idea. It wouldn't go over well, and enlistment would probably be down, but it's not a bad idea.
No, because it's you know, it's from their job to the PX, you know, alcohol 24/7, and that's a lifestyle for these guys. You know, from there to the club to the bar, then they're, you know, drinking and driving because it's allowed. That's the lifestyle there. That's how it's been, and that's just how it is, and it's not changing. It's not getting any better.
And that's exactly what happened with my son. Like the minute he left work, he'd crack open a bottle and then drink till he passed out. But somehow, I mean, thank God he was so intelligent, because he would still wake up early, be perfect for work, and do his job really well. But I noticed when he had come home once on leave, like around the holidays, it was 10 o'clock in the morning and he was already drinking. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he, you know, he just acted like it was normal. And I guess for them, that's, you know, that's the lifestyle, what they do. But that is not normal. And drinking alone like that, it's not normal.
No. No. It's the lifestyle. It's like a college. The military is like a college.
Yeah.
It's like a fraternity. It's like a I know when I was in, we drank just like college every day. We were in there drinking.
And it should, you know, people have to have each other's backs anymore. Like you see someone like, oh, wow, they're like a different person when they're drinking. That's not normal. Instead of being looked at like, oh, why did you say something? Have each other's back. Tell somebody, I'm concerned about that person, but with no consequences for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something has to change.
Yeah, well, that's why we're getting together like this and trying to, you know, bring awareness and do more prevention and stuff. So, but there's a lot right now, Dana. There's a lot of pressure on the military to get this done. A lot of pressure on the VA, because this is a subject that they don't want to talk about. They don't. This is like bad publicity for the VA, for veterans, for the Army, for the Navy. They don't want to come out and say, yeah, we got a problem. Yeah, these guys are committing suicide. Yeah, they're out of control. They don't want to say that because when they have you sign up for the military, they want you to think that your kid's going somewhere safe,
Yeah.
which they are going somewhere safe, but the rules there don't keep them safe. You know, they're not protected 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, like they should be. There should be they should be a lot stricter. They shouldn't. For a military organization, your kids shouldn't be running wild for one, and E1 shouldn't be running wild at the clubs and bars and drinking like that. They should have them, you know, more squared away, restricted to base. I wouldn't even let them off base. And yeah, I would have a zero alcohol. I would have a zero alcohol for a while, for maybe, you know, at least 25 or 22 or something. I wouldn't let these 18-year-old kids drink like that.
And the other thing is, well, two things. A lot of them, they are still kids. You know, they're enlisting, they're 18, 19, 20, 21. They're still kids. And, you know, I know that some people are going to disagree, but with COVID, even the military stopped a lot of things that they were doing, like the training. So now you're leaving them with more idle time. Everything's shut down. They're going to work, nothing else to do. What are they going to drink? I feel like what are they going to do? They're going to drink. You know, I personally feel like they should have still did the activities that they were doing. They need that discipline, and it's something for them to do. It's training, it's discipline, and it should have kept going. I think it was very bad it was bad for everyone, but even in the military, where they're used to having to do something 24, you know, almost 24/7 and answering to somebody. Oh, now it's COVID. No, we're not doing that. You know, I think that had a very negative effect with mental health, with drinking, doing drugs. It wasn't good.
No, no way. Yeah, it's a toxic environment. It's a toxic work environment. You know, they have briefings on Friday, safety briefings. They say, you know, don't drink and drive. You know, don't do this, don't do that, don't go to this area, don't go here. But obviously, these safety briefings aren't working. You know, because they're still drinking a lot, and you know that's not what you want for an 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kid who just left their parents and out of high school, and they're in an area they know nothing about, you know, like Virginia or Fort Hood. They're dangerous places. You know, you take a 18-year-old kid, they think they're going somewhere safe. You know, they just signed up for the best company, you know, the military. They think they're taken care of, right? They think everybody's got their back. And then you get over to this unit and, you know, you slip off base, you have a drain, and then your whole career and life's over with.
Yep. And that's exactly, I feel like, what happened. And they have to remember, they are not mature. They're still kids. So you know what? Maybe give them more structure, more things to do in their free time. There's nothing wrong with being stricter, being a little bit harder on them so they don't have as much free time. You know, it's like going to college. You're basically taking these kids and they're out in the wild being able to do whatever they want. And it's not good.
No. They need to guarantee success. They need to pave that road a little. You know, they promise all this stuff. Oh, you know, we're going to give you free college. We're going to give you a bonus. You know, you're going to travel. You're going to get free dental, free food. But we want a promise that says our son's not going to die when he gets to this military base.
Yeah.
We want a promise that says that he's not going to be in a toxic workplace, toxic environment when he gets to this unit, because it's a toxic place already. And, you know, that's the guarantee we want. What good is promising a kid college when he's not even have a chance to use it?
Yeah.
Because he can't even make it 2-3 years in the Army or the Navy because now he's drank too much. He's got booted from the military. He's got arrested, or he committed suicide.
And like, I mean, I do want to say my son never once, like, he always said that he loved his job, loved the people in his command, the people that he worked with. And, you know, even all of his friends say that. So it's straight. He never did complain about that. I just think it was, like you said, too much freedom. And, you know, maybe they need to be tougher in different ways on them. Be tougher, like give them more things that they have to do instead of so much free time.
Constructive things. Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes an idle mind, an idle body is the worst thing.
Or more camaraderie doing activities on the weekends.
Together.
Why run wild Friday when the weekend's there? Instead of letting all your soldiers just take off through the city, and you as an NCO know one of these guys is going to call because he's in jail. One of these guys is going to get a phone call because he's been arrested, right? So they know this, and they're waiting for it to happen, and they probably know what soldier it's going to happen to, because they know. Okay? Instead of doing that, maybe they should maybe plan a camping trip, or like a trip to a water park, an amusement park with all your soldiers, and go have some camaraderie, right? Take them out of town.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, do something with them, spend some more time with them together, instead of letting them run wild like that. You know, there's a lot of things that could change, you know. And one thing they
let them run wild, and then if they get a DUI, it's basically, well, it doesn't matter how good you are, you have a chance of getting kicked out. But they're really so young. What do you expect? Anybody's going to do that. And now that thought's in their head, and they start drinking more. You don't think that that's not going to drive them to take their life if this is something that they really love and they feel like this is their purpose? You know, I know that, you know, in my son's case, that had, you know, it had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got pressure from the unit. You got, you know, your son, you know what? We don't know the situation all the way, but if your son was drinking, he was under stress. He had a DUI. He had some other stuff going on with some other stuff. His NCO knows what he's going on. So they could have
he actually didn't tell anyone about the DUI. And I kept telling him, you have to tell your command. And that's the other thing. I think in my son's mind, instead of doing, because he was afraid to say anything because he loved his job and he was like, this is my purpose. He kept drinking and drinking. And then that made him really, you know, really start to lose it and not think level-headed or clearly, because he was afraid of what the consequences were going to be, you know?
Yeah, I know. And, you know, another kicker here is, you know, sometimes the chain of command isn't taking care of the soldiers. You know, they're not, and not only that, but they can push somebody to suicide.
Yeah.
You know, if you're an NCO and you got a lot of soldiers and there's one or two of them or whatever, you just like, well, whatever. You know, I'm not really into them guys. We don't really hang out. You know, you just let them go do whatever they want, go run amok, get in trouble, drink, whatever. And then when they do come around, you know, they're dogging them out or embarrassing them and making them upset and driving them to suicide. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if that goes on or if that's part of it, but it's a possibility, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I know with, in the case of, Brandon, this was before my son got there, and his mom started the Brandon Act. That was the case, and he was vocal about it, that there's different leadership now. It's not the same people, but
because he was getting bullied, right?
yeah, and he was telling the command, and instead of getting the support and the backup, he was just being punished.
So the Brandon Act is big, right?
Yeah, it's very, very, very sad. And then even for women, it's like when they do speak up about a sexual assault, they're punished. And I think, okay, so you can be punished for a DUI, but you can sexually assault somebody and that gets swept under the rug. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, well, what we're doing, we're living in a new world, right? The year 2022 with old military regulations, okay, that applied a long time ago, right? Way, 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 way back when a lot of stuff wasn't going on that's going on now. So pretty much, a lot of regulations need to get changed.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to change with the times, like everything else.
Yeah, so it's time that a regulation gets changed for suicide. Whether that's in the name of your son, an Ethan Sabatino Act, some kind of suicide act.
Yeah.
That's what I would be pushing for. I would be out at the White House picketing with you, out there with CNN. Out there, I'll sleep outside at the White House with you. We'll go post out there, put some flyers and some big banners, and sit out there until Biden comes out and does something about it. Because we can't bring your son back, but we can save other lives.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, God bless you, Dana.
Thank you.
Yeah, God bless you. And we can. You want to do this again on the 15th?
Yeah, I'll go live again on the 15th, and then I'm gonna go and share the link to the walk on your page.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that then.
Thank you for having me on and letting me talk about the walk.
Okay. All right, Dana.
Have a great day.
All right, you have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.